Hello, I'm Rebecca Chaplin and I'm proud to be presenting Motors.co.uk's new series, Live More Moments, a series where our amazing guests share with us their car moments, memories from their first motor, nostalgic childhood road trips, and the must-haves to their existing or future cars to enable them to live more. In our first series, we were chatting to some inspirational women of the automotive industry here in the UK. This month, we celebrate one of the most important days of the year, International Women's Day, whose theme this year is Break the Bias, championing for a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. So let's chat with some of the women breaking the bias in the automotive industry. Today, we're speaking to a woman who is changing the face of car repair. With over 15 years' experience, she's a business owner and has also appeared on TV shows across Channel 4 and Channel 5. She's a car enthusiast with a passion for classic and vintage cars, particularly specialising in car restoration. So let's meet today's guest, Hannah Gordon, owner of Spanner Tech Services Limited. Welcome, Hannah. It's nice to have you here today with us.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. The one thing I was really worried I was going to say wrong was your company name, but I think I just sort of nailed it.
That's fine. It sounded great.
I love that in your Twitter bio you state that you're changing the face of car repair. With this whole theme of Break the Bias this year for International Women's Day, what does that actually mean to you? How are you changing the face of car repair?
So it's something that I'm hugely passionate about. I've been in and around the car industry for over 15 years as a mechanic. I've just recently started up I actually bought another business out. So I'm going into more the business side of things, and I really want to promote the car industry, specifically the car repair industry, and try and change people's perception of it. I realise that it's particularly the reputation that follows the car industry is quite bad. And there are lots of really good car repair workshops in this country that are very honest, who are completely trustworthy and do a great job. But there are also ones that don't. And so for me, the whole quote of changing the car industry is about my vision and mission to buy and basically it's an acquisition type thing where I want to buy a lot of car repair businesses and really put the customer first. So it's changing how we view the car repairs, and we actually put the customer at the forefront of that. You know, we try and make it easy for them. We do the garage iron at the moment. We offer collection, delivery. We can book that. People can book online. So it's all about how can we make it easy for the customer so they're not dreading actually getting their car repaired. So it's all kind of surrounding that.
So going all the way back, why did you decide you wanted to be a mechanic in the first place?
It was ingrained in me a little bit. So none of my family are petrol heads. It's kind of, I don't know if I was swapped at birth or no, I'm joking, I wasn't. I was I just loved cars. Even growing up, I loved the sound of them. We'd be in the car, and just everything about cars just fascinates me. And so I then I'd always have, if we went out and got toys as a child, I'd want a car. I had a car play mat. I then started helping out down a local garage, and I found that I picked up the car repair quite quickly. So I don't actually have a qualification in car repair. It's all been learned from when I was young as a child and growing up, and just learning on the job and things like that. So I found that the best way for me to learn, and it's kind of all just stemmed from there, really. I've just picked it up really quick. I enjoy it. I love the fact the car industry just offers so much potential, avenues to go down and bits like that. And it's a career that's kept me interested, throughout my whole working career, really.
That's amazing. That's quite unconventional, but great to hear. Did you ever find it challenging being a woman in that environment?
Do you know what? I was really lucky. I worked down a small village independent garage, quite sheltered from a lot of potential issues. I never felt like I was different. I was just one of the lads, and I enjoyed working with the guys. I've always, every single kind of job I've had, it's always been kind of working in and around men and a male dominated industry. So I'm quite used to it. And I know that there's been women that have have found issues with it, and so that kind of makes my path seem quite fortunate, really. But I've had some amazing opportunities that I've got a lot of guys to thank for, you know, for those opportunities and bits like that. But I think the car industry as a whole has got quite a bad reputation with women, and how they potentially operate and bits like that. But from my point of view and my journey, I've never had any issues.
Do you think it's changed as well a bit, the attitudes towards women in working in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I haven't come across any issues, then I haven't seen a change as such, because I've always been quite welcomed by workplaces and things like that. And I think a lot of workplaces do actually quite like having a female on board. It offers a bit of diversity. It offers new suggestions, new skills, different ways of doing things. You know, I've always found that it's nice to have a good mix of both male and female, because we offer different things moving forward for a business. But I do think, yeah, you know, the car industry is changing. It's not seen as, you know, you don't get those backstreet garages as much, where they're dirty and they're quite male stereotype behaviour. You don't really get that as much. So there's definitely a change in it, and I think it's becoming definitely a more inclusive like workplace and kind of area for people to go into.
So diving a bit more into your passion for cars, you've got a 911, right?
I do, yeah, Porsche 911.
Let's say people follow you on social media will see you driving around in that. You do quite a few road trips in it as well.
Yeah, so I bought that Porsche 911. There's actually some YouTube videos, because I bought it for under £5,000, so it's known as the under £5,000 Porsche 911. And I bought it with a blown up gearbox, so it did have to have a little bit of work, but it wasn't something that I intended on buying. It kind of came up as a bit of a deal. Kind of, you know, it was cheap, so I bought it before anyone else bought it. And yeah, I take it everywhere. Porsches always run better used. I always tell customers to use their cars, especially Porsches. They just seem to prefer being used constantly, so I try and use it most weeks. And it runs perfectly. I take to Goodwood, and it can't go on track because it's a little bit noisy. But yeah, I'm hoping to take it over to Europe this year and do some proper road trips. So it's just a really nice car to drive.
Wow. And it fits in, what is it about it that kind of fits in with your lifestyle so well?
It's easy to drive. You know what? It's got heated seats. In my only car, it's got heated seats and an automatic gearbox, which isn't obviously what people buy a Porsche for, the automatic gearbox. But it's just, I've always wanted a car like that, and to be able to have one that's cheaper than like a normal Ford Focus, it's ridiculous, you know. And it's just nice to be able to get out and about. I take my brother out in it and things like that, so we go driving, and I just love driving it. I love the sound of it. I think it's quite a visceral car. You know, the sound of it, the drive of it, it's really quite nice. So yeah.
If you could take it on a road trip anywhere, where would you want to go?
I'm planning on doing Europe this year, so the plan is through France, Switzerland, Italy, and then back again, maybe back through like Belgium, up towards the Nürburgring, Germany, Belgium, bits like that. So it's I think obviously through COVID and a couple of years of just not really doing much, it's nice to be able to, everything's been saved up, all the road trips have been saved up, so it's about getting out there and kind of experiencing it and taking it to Europe, really.
Fantastic, sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much, Hannah, for chatting to us today and sharing with us your mission to change and promote the car industry. Thank you to everyone who's watched as well. I hope you're enjoying this series, and remember, a new episode will be launching every Tuesday throughout March. If you want to keep up to date with Hannah, or are keen to be a mechanic yourself, she's on social quite a lot, so we've added in her handles below for you to click on. I'm Rebecca Chaplin, and thank you for watching this episode of Motors.co.uk Live More Moments, Women Powering the Automotive Industry.